Welcome to the AVO National Day, and today we're going to be starting off with the twin cam. Now, if you don't know anything about the twin cam, the idea of the Escort twin cam came from Ford's competition department, Henry Taylor. Having witnessed an Escort prototype being tested during 1967, Taylor thought a new model would be a great idea and a platform, obviously using the Lotus twin cam engine previously used in the Cortina, which now the Cortina is discontinued. As the Escort was much smaller and considerably lighter than the Cortina, the twin cam power diversity was expected to be much faster and therefore transforming the position in motorsport. Walter Hayes, the Ford public relations officer at the time, agreed to the board of directors and given it the twin cam the green light. Working on the first several prototypes began at Ford Borum competition department during 1967. The first 25 cars were assembled at Borum, with the rest built at Ford Hellwood plant on the same assembly line as a standard Escort. Once the shells had been painted and trimmed, they were transferred to a small workshop where a dozen or so cars were fitted with the mechanicals. Production of the twin cam came to an end in June 1971. By this time, Ford had already introduced a successor. It was the Ford Escort RS1600, and that was produced from April 1970, which came with a more potential engine, Cosworth BDA powered unit. In total, Ford built 1,263 Escort twin cams between December 67 and June 71. Of these, 883 were completed with the original rectangle lights, followed by an additional 380 with circular lights. The Ford RS1600 started life as a result of the successful wins in international rallying scene. The Ford Escort twin cam, with the collaboration of Ford and AVO, this was a company within Ford which built performance cars, and hence rally sport. Marketing department back then had a whale of a time setting up dealerships across the country just for RS models. The Mexico was born in the limelight of the London to Mexico Rally in 1970, and it was once again built at that beautiful factory at AVO, the Advanced Vehicle Operations. And this is where they built everything nearly. But did you know? The shell actually was built in Hellwood and actually transported all the way down from the Merseyside factory down to South Ockington. They used the same strengthened body shell as all the rest of the models. And let's be fair, this Kent engine was legendary. A 1599cc pushrod engine developed 89 bhp and 92 pound of torque. Can you believe it? And today at the AVO National Day, we have more Mexicos than we've got people. And these are outstanding cars. And if you just think about it, if these were left out in the bad weather all the time for a good few years, they would end up as a piece of rust, working its way back down to the ground. Respect goes out to all the owners of Mark I Mexicos and any RS model of this age group. And the strangest thing is to think that only 10,000 Mark I Ford Escort Mexicos were built. For such a small car, such a small original run, there can be no more influential car in the UK than this Mark I Mexico. Now we'll check out the rest of the cars which are on display, and there's a lot of them. And we'll finish up these few Mexicos, then we'll go across to the RS2000s, 1300Es, the Capris, and a few of non-AVO cars.
Enjoying it, lovely car. Yeah, nice one. I know where the pub's starting.
Well, you know, you can stay with me for a minute. What colour's this one? Tell me what colour's this one? What colour's this one? Colour's this one blue? This one blue as well. No, in a minute. Beautiful. Lovely colour blue that is. That's lovely.
Can we go over to Dad?
Come on then. Foot. Listen.
You got a job to believe the RS2000 is now 50-year-old. Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking. Well, the RS2000 started in 1973 and it continued on to just before 1975 before the Mark II Escort came in. Now, lots and lots of people have had these cars over the years and they are exceptional. The RS2000 was a pure thoroughbred car. It had a 2-litre overhead cam engine. Not only offered the performance, the maximum speed was 110 mile an hour. Can you actually believe that? 0 to 60 time was in 9 seconds, if you're lucky. But the remarkable fuel consumption, 33 miles per gallon. Yeah, these days you'd be thinking, oh my God, the engine is protected against oil surge by a unique baffle aluminium sump. Because it was such a high performance car, the suspension was slightly modified over the Mexico. Not that to achieve this, the RS2000 had increased spring ratings at the front. They were 30% more than the Mexico and the RS1600, while in the rear it was reduced. You still had your shock absorbers and your 2 leaf springs, but that suspension at the back was certainly a lot lower. Now the gearbox itself came straight out of the Cortina 2000. Yep, legendary gearbox, wasn't it, folks? Once again, the clutch was uprated, the bell housing was slightly different, and this time they were using an alloy housing. Now the trim itself, once again, it was a luxurious trim and you could order different things as well. But mainly, most people would have opted for the wood trim and the luxurious carpets. And of course, the lumbar supporting seats with that unique beta cloth with the RS badges. Absolute legendary trim. But of course, did you wonder how much the car would have cost? Luckily for you, I got a full price list from November 1973. And let's be fair, the RS2000, including the tax, would have cost you 1,400 quid. Oh, what a bargain. Optional extras you could have got. Rally pack, bill sign suspension, limited slip differential. Not forgetting, you could get those beautiful big wheel arches as well. Oh, they're exceptional. Not forgetting the 5 RS alloy wheels as well. And the list goes on. Thinking about buying an RS2000 as a project? Well, the RS2000 is prone to rust, particularly in those areas of wheel arches, seals, floor pans. Thoroughly inspect these areas for signs of corrosion. I understand from the owner, he wants £20,000 for this piece of scrap. But remember, the important part is he has got the actual plates for it and the actual logbook. But if you're thinking about doing a restoration job to this extent, body shell is going to set you back around about 12 to 20,000. And remember, can you ever get your money back? Because it's not really an original car. Now we'll check out the rest of the RS2000s, because there is absolutely plenty of them. Next up is the Ford Capri 3100, rare gem of power and style. In 1973, Ford released a true masterpiece, the Ford Capri 3100, with only 250 units ever built. This car has become a symbol of power and exclusivity. You can just imagine the busking factory floor filled with machinery and workers as the cars come along the assembly line. At the Hellwood factory, craftsmen put together each RS3100. It shares many of the components with the predecessor, the RS26, ensuring a familiar performance pedigree. Under the hood of the RS3100 boasts a muscular overboard RS3000 V6 engine, enlarged to 3091cc with 148 horsepower and 187 pounds per torque. This machine roared to life. On the racetrack, the RS3100 sent tears around the racetrack, displaying its aggressiveness and speed. Talking of speed, the 3100 had a 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Oh, that was fairly good, wasn't it? With a maximum speed of 124 miles an hour. Cool. At the launch of the 3100, can you just imagine what the price was? And I'm just rounding it up. £2,200. Cool, wasn't that a bargain in the day? And don't forget, there was no factory option extras available. Back in the day, out of 250 cars, Ford had a job to sell them. 50 cars ended up being exported to Australia. 22 cars ended up being registered by Ford, and that was area sales managers, and the cars were heavily discounted in price. As for the interior of the RS3100, well, this was a different story. Step inside and you'll find a stylish cabin tailored for the driving enthusiast. Some models had white needles on the dashboard, others sported the red. Leather or plastic knobs and seat belts. Each had a unique touch, but a lot of it was plastic. In the day, there was no option pack for the 3100. This car is how it came. This rare beauty was only available in 7 encapsulating colours, from Daytona yellow to Marina blue. Gold decals parade the car, highlighting its linearity, especially on the spar. One major feature and very distinctive is the ducktail rear spoiler. It enhanced the stability at high speed and made the car have downforce, especially on the racetrack. In the day, timing was challenging with the oil crisis looming and the new Mark II Capri just waiting to steal that spotlight. But that didn't stop the RS3100 from leaving impression. These cars are a rarity indeed, and here at the AVO National Day, we got a few of them. The Ford Capri RS3100 remains a legendary machine. Power, style, and Ford's commitment to engineering excellence, a reminder of an era when driving was exhilarating experience. The Ford Escort 1300E, a true masterpiece, carrying the Covenant E badge, symbolising excellence and sophistication.
It certainly catches your eye. Tell me more about it.
Well, the 1300E was introduced in 1973, based on the iconic Mark I body shell. It features rectangular headlamps and luxurious lights, giving it that distinctive appearance, and those wider wheels with those chunky chrome rims adds a touch of sportiness.
I see. What's the interior?
Oh, the interior is where the 1300E truly shines. It's equipped with deep pile carpets, extra sounding insulation, and a unique center console, and a GT pod instrument gauge, and a 3-spoke steering wheel, elevating the driving experience. And of course, all that wood trim around the dash and on the door panels, just a touch of class.
Steve, it sounds like they spared no expense in making it comfortable and stylish.
Absolutely, Ford wanted to create a statement, so they offered the 1300E in 2 bold metallic colours, purple velvet and metallic amber. And did you know many of these colours were actually built at the AVO plant in South Ockington?
That's interesting, Steve, but what about the exterior details?
Well, mate, the front of the car features the GT styling, rectangular headlamps and those distinctive Lucas spot lamps. Side repeaters or black or white 3-pinned coach line running the full length of the car, giving it that unique look. Full length chrome bumpers with chrome overriders, along with chrome mirrors, window edging strips and seals, and adds an extra touch of elegance.
I can see it stands out. What about the rear?
At the rear, the 1300E comes with a pair of reversing lamps as standard, and to make this little baby stand out, Ford has added an E badge not only to the front wings but to the rear quarter wings as well. And of course, the roof comes with a covering in black vinyl.
It's beautiful. Tell me about the performance then, Steve.
Under the hood, the 1300E shares the same 72 bhp 1.3 litre cross-flow engine as the Sport and the GT models. Paired with the close ratio gearbox, it can go from 0 to 60 in just over 13 seconds, with a top speed claimed at 93 miles an hour.
Well, impressive. This car seems to have it all. I can see an E badge carried such prestige.
Yes, mate, indeed. Its perfect blend of style, comfort, performance. The Ford Escort 1300E is a true icon of its time, designed for those who appreciate the better things of life.
Well, it's certainly convinced me. I think it's time to take this little beauty for a test drive.
Excellent choice, mate. I'll get the keys and make this the memorable experience. And if you like this type of video, please subscribe and please share, and we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters!